volunteer doctor Nick Maynard spent some time over in Gaza and got the chance to see what was happening, and it wasn't very pretty, as we can imagine.
That I'd be prepared for it, but I wasn't. It was beyond description how awful it was. A lot of doctors I know who have taken in formula feed because they knew there was such a shortage. None has been allowed in by the Israelis since the last ceasefire.
So you go through a checkpoint, you get searched as a doctor, and if you've got any baby formula in your pockets or in your bag, they will confiscate it from you?
Very specifically confiscating that. Nothing else. I cannot think of any reason why they would confiscate formula feed. There was a very clear pattern of injuries, a cluster of injuries to specific body parts on particular days. So one day, for example, we'd see patients coming in with gunshot wounds just to the head and neck. On another day, they'd be coming in with gunshot wounds to the chest or the abdomen. The next day, the legs. On one day, about 12 days ago, we saw 4 young teenage boys, 13, 14, all of whom had been shot specifically in the testicles.
Goodness me.
So the very clear clustering of these injuries appeared to us like a target practice. A game was being played.
Again, that's Dr. Mick Maynard, who was spending some time over there, and the horrors were worse than he even could have imagined. But what we're dealing with lately, of course, is the starvation aspect. Already for this amount of time, we've been dealing with the murderous approach to missiles being dropped on people's homes, dismembering of people's bodies, children being left without a family at all, parents watching and picking up parts of their children as they cry. But we still continue to have the same talking points coming from over here. So let's focus a little bit more on the starvation. I want to point this out, first of all, because I want to thank one of the watchers of the watch party shooting me this video. This is some information about how starvation actually works from another doctor, Amir Khan, so we can really see what it is that these folks are having to deal with at the hands of our taxpayer dollars.
This is a reel I wish I didn't have to make, but it's so important to speak up and for people to know this. This is what happens to a human body and a human being when they die from starvation. First, the body uses up glucose, its quickest fuel. That's gone in about 24 hours. You feel shaky, dizzy, cold, your stomach cramps, and worse than the hunger is the exhaustion. Like your bones are filled with sand. Next, the body burns fat. You lose weight rapidly, your cheeks sink, your clothes hang off you, but your brain is still alert, and now it's panicking. You can't stop thinking about food, the smell of bread, the memory of taste. It becomes torture. Then the body starts eating muscle, including the heart. You feel weak, too tired to sit up, your legs tremble. Every movement is an effort. You speak less, and then you stop speaking altogether. Your brain begins to starve, confusion, hallucinations. You see things that aren't there. You forget who you are. It's terrifying. You feel freezing cold, even in the heat. Your skin breaks down. You bruise like paper. Your body hurts to lie on, but you can't sit up. In the final stages, organs shut down. Breathing becomes shallow. Heartbeat slows, consciousness fades. It's not peaceful, it's not quick, it's a slow, lonely descent into silence. Right now, children in Gaza are feeling this, right now. This isn't happening in a famine, this is not a natural death. It's a man-made one, and it's preventable. Let aid in, don't look away, don't wait for history to judge. Speak now.
The only way that we can, look over this type of stuff is to not really understand what it is that's happening, or try to put some kind of priority over what it is that folks that are pursuing this type of devastation, this kind of torture. Let's keep it real. So dropping bombs on people. So the people who survive those bombs that are being dropped, they're going through the torture of watching the chaos and the rubble and the remnants that are left of their family and friends and community in front of them. That's the torture that happens mentally for them. For the folks who slowly die, as so many are now, as food aid trucks are being blocked, as violence is actually being carried out by folks who are trying to get those things to these folks that are being tortured to death, their consciousness, their mind, their body are all tortured. You kind of forget who you were, as Dr. Khan was pointing out there. If we really get a full grasp on how horrible these things are that we're carrying out, let's keep that real too. maybe more people would actually understand it, but they don't want to let you know those things. As a matter of fact, one Megyn Kelly definitely doesn't want to know those things. And there's a way that they've been characterizing this and posing this to continue to dehumanize the folks, these humans that are going through these dehumanizing trials and deaths slowly and on purpose. This is the type of things that folks who support this say about them.
Starving children. And I don't think the two things are incompatible. I think you can be supportive of Israel's right to defend itself. And you can support what Israel did with Hezbollah and what they did with Iran, as I have done. But also be incredibly concerned by these images coming out of Gaza now of starving people. Where do you sit with this, Megyn? Because it is complex. I don't for a moment suggest this is easy in any way. But where do you sit with what is going on now with Gaza?
Well, I'm always reluctant to put too much stock in the images coming out of Gaza, that phrase, because they're manipulated and they're masters of propaganda, and they're fine having their own children starve just as long as they can put them on camera and show them off to the world. That's Hamas. And frankly, it's a lot of Palestinians. So I'm very skeptical of taking those images at face value and saying it's Israel's fault. As
they're watching, there are people literally starved to death. As they watch their entire country get bombed to rubble, their primary focus is about getting their children that are dying in front of them, in front of some cameras. If they're trying to get their children in front of cameras, it's probably to get people to understand what's happening, because they're listening to people like Megyn Kelly tell them that these are not humans that we're systematically murdering in a very slow motion fashion right now. So that's the plan. The plan is to continue to make you think these folks don't matter, that they're not real humans, that, in fact, the horrible things that you see is them manufacturing that for you to see it so that you can then do what? Care. Don't get past what is it they want you to stop doing is caring about these folks. They want our minds and our caring to stop paying any attention to it. And one way of doing that is to say, look, they're faking it. They want to put their children in front of cameras, as her ass is sitting in front of a camera to tell you what to not care about.
Having said that, it's time. It's time now. Israel, whether it realizes it or not, has made itself the villain of the world in letting this thing go on so long. They have lost support amongst their dearest friends. And even the entire Democrat Party here in the United States has turned against them, and they're losing Republicans by the day here in America, which is their most important ally. So whether the fight continues to be just or not is almost irrelevant. As Trump said when he was running this time last year, not yet elected, time to wrap it up. And that's how I feel, too. And I've given Israel a long berth. I fully understand, as an American who was attacked on 9/11, my country was that, when you attack the United States and you kill thousands of our citizens, and Israel was in this position on 10/7, it's fine to respond, and it doesn't have to be proportionate. Whoever said it has to be proportionate? It can be overwhelming force to teach a lesson to any enemy. You mess with us, it's going to be extremely painful, disproportionately painful for you. I have no problem with that. But what Israel's doing now is losing its standing with the rest of the world. And it can sit in its corner and claim that it's morally justified and it has the, upper hand. And all. It's too late. It's lost. It's starting to lose, too, even with its closest friends, its moral reputation, its moral high ground. And as Trump said a year ago, time to wrap it up.
Don't forget to give some kind of credit to Donald Trump for saying time to wrap it up. Again, as he's also talking before about clearing that whole thing out, making some beachfront property. We're going to sell off Gaza to the highest bidder of multiple countries. Who cares? And we'll put those folks that we no longer think even exist anymore, we'll just ship them off to some other area because they're just some commodities that we put in different places for our own comfort. She said, whether it's just or not, it's time to stop this. Is it a genocide? Why stop it? I thought it's overwhelmingly overwhelming force to teach an enemy a lesson disproportionately, she said. It's painful for you. What does that solve? Pay attention to another professor. Because, sometimes we have to listen to smart people. I want to give her name. She's Rutgers University professor, Noura Erakat, and she's all over this. And she was talking about exactly how this is carried out.
We have vetoed 49 Security Council resolutions that would have ended this and ushered Palestinian self-determination. The U.S. in the past 19 months has vetoed 5 Security Council resolutions that would have ended the genocide. We are literally the problem. Israel is not a member of the Security Council. It can't do shit. It's the U.S. doing it on its behalf. If it were not for the U.S., Israel wouldn't have even had the weapons to continue slaughtering and vaporizing and tearing babies apart in Gaza. Those are US weapons. Every single plane that Israel has, every single fighter jet, Amanda, is from the US. Every bomb dropped is because of us. What do you mean this is over there? This is our genocide. This is us. And so why don't we know this? It's so basic. And it's precisely the people who will tell you are at universities. And that's why now the universities are under attack, because of the fear that we can tell somebody.
Information, empathy, and realization of what it is that we're doing is the biggest problem.